Are you a basketball player that goes from the highs of feeling totally confident in your game, your skills, and your journey, to the lows of self-doubt, being unsure of your place on the team and really unsure if you're really good enough? Well, today I'm going to share what causes that roller coaster of confidence and how you can get off that wild ride and develop a confidence that you can depend on. Let's jump in and discuss. Welcome back to Heart Smart Together. I'm Coach Dave. I'm here every week to help basketball players become the smart, confident players that coaches love. And yes, we're talking about confidence today, but not just any kind of confidence. There's a lot of different kinds of confidence. And you may have experienced kind of that roller coaster that I was talking about of confidence, when sometimes you're really overconfident. You think nothing you can do on a basketball court can go wrong, right? Maybe all your shots are going in, you're starting, your team's winning, everything's going great, and you become a little overconfident. And other times, maybe you have low confidence. Maybe you have some, self-doubt creeping in where you're just not sure. You're not sure if you're even cut out for this game of basketball. Things just, you couldn't throw it in the ocean. You're turning the ball over, you're not starting, you're not playing, your team's losing, whatever the case might be. And we want to get you off that roller coaster. So what we want to strive for is something I like to call steady confidence. And why are we striving for steady confidence? And what's the reason we don't want to be overconfident or underconfident? Because your confidence level affects how you play. It affects your peak level of how you play. And you want to play at a peak level more often than not, all the time. You want to be steady at a high level of play, right? You don't want to need to be overconfident, and that's the only time you play really well. And then when you're underconfident and have low confidence, you're playing really poorly. You want a steady high level of confidence, okay? And that needs to be built with things that you can rely on, okay? So, steady confidence allows you to play at this peak level. So how do you get there? Well, first of all, I want to talk about what causes low confidence and what causes overconfidence. So, and what are some of the things you experience, with low confidence? Have you ever had really kind of a low confidence level? Have you ever been depressed or feel down about your game? Like I said, you just feel like you can't do anything right on the basketball court. Have you ever felt like you're not making progress? Man, I keep working on my game. I keep doing drills. My shot's not getting any better. I'm not getting any better. You just don't feel like you're making that progress. You don't see the progress. Have you ever not really had trust in your game? You didn't trust yourself with the ball in your hands. You just didn't feel really good about it. Or have you ever lost the joy of the game? Just didn't feel like playing basketball because it just wasn't fun anymore because I'm just not playing well. I don't feel good about myself. I don't feel good about my game. Have you ever felt that way? Well, the opposite is this high confidence that I talked about. You make everything, you shoot, your team's winning, you feel as if you can beat anybody, basketball becomes easy, right? Well, that's a little overconfident. Have you ever not necessarily listened to the advice your coach has given you because you're a little overconfident, you get a little cocky, right? Have you ever been complacent and said, I don't need to work on my game, I don't need to keep doing drills, I don't need to keep shooting, man, I got this thing figured out. I am a hooper, right? You ever felt like that? Well, the funny thing about low confidence and overconfidence is they come from the exact same place. You go, how can that be? How can both low confidence and overconfidence come from the same place? Well, they come from focusing on results. And when you focus on results, especially short-term results, you get these drastic swings in your confidence. Like I mentioned, what if every shot seems to be going in? Your team's winning, you're starting. I'm feeling really confident. Can't throw it in the ocean. I keep turning the ball over. I got benched. Somebody's starting over me. My team's on a losing streak. You got really low confidence. But those are results, right? So how do you even that out, get this steady confidence that you can rely on and perform at your peak level, for where you are right now? Hey, I'll get back to the episode in just a second. I hope you're enjoying today's episode, and if you are, please share it. Share it with a player, share it with a parent, share it with a coach, anybody that you feel might need to hear it. I also wanted to give you a free gift that I've made available to you just for hanging out with me today. It's a checklist of skills for basketball players that want to become a better player, a better teammate, and to stand out to their coaches. Now, these skills are skills that are often overlooked, but they can be the foundation that a player can use to really achieve their goals. You can download it at hardsmarttogether.com/intangibles. I'll put a link below in the description as well, but it's hardsmarttogether.com/intangibles. Now let's jump back to today's episode. Well, you can focus on three things you can rely on. And we talk about some of these things on other videos, and I'll talk about them in the future. But there's three things you can rely on that you can focus on. Number one, who you are as a person. And you might think that sounds hokey when we're talking about basketball, but I want you to reflect. I don't think we take enough time to reflect on who we are as people. Deep down, you're probably a pretty good person. You probably really want good things for your family. You do for your family. You want good things for your friends. You have good thoughts. You have noble thoughts, right? You're not an evil person. You have, your faith, your family, your friends, and you want to achieve things, but you also want to do good things. Most people are like that, and I'm assuming you're one of those players out there who deep down's a good person, but you probably don't reflect enough on it. Well, I'll tell you what, you being a good person is the foundation for your confidence. Whenever you're feeling down about your game or whatever, you can always rely on, yeah, but I'm a pretty good person. Let's just get down to brass tacks here. That's the foundation for who we are as people, and I want you to feel that. But there's more you can build on, more you can focus on, versus results. The second thing you can focus on is I want you to learn and work on creating good habits of play. I talk a lot about creating habits and how to create habits. Well, let me tell you something. As a basketball player, you're either creating good habits or bad habits all the time. We want you to break any bad habits, and we want you to work on learning and building good habits. And so you can rely on those good habits. You can rely on the fact that you're working on those good habits. You can focus on the journey of working on those good playing habits, okay, versus results. The third thing that I want you to focus on is learning and developing good habits of thought. And what do I mean by that? I mean, so many of us has some self-sabotage going on in our heads, right? You're not good enough. You're never going to be able to, make that team. Just self-sabotage thoughts. We might have some bad habits when it comes to your habits of thought. And I want the way you think about the game, the way you think about your athletic career, the way you think about, what you're doing. And I want you to have good habits of thought. And if you focus on learning and developing good habits of thought, that's another thing that you can rely on versus results, okay? So if you want to get off that roller coaster of confidence and you want to build yourself what I call steady confidence so you can perform at your peak level at all times, you need to focus on the foundation, who you are as a person. But on top of that, you need to focus on your creating good habits of play and learning and creating good habits of thought. Those are the three things that you can focus on and work on, and I'll help you in future videos as we go forward, but that you can focus on in order to create that steady level of confidence. So that is what we've got for you for this week. I always like the likes. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me about a time that you felt like you had really low confidence, and if this will help you pull you out of that. Tell me if you're feeling a little overconfident right now. Maybe you need to start listening to your coaches, listening to your teachers, rededicating yourself to creating those good habits so that you don't have that fall into the low confidence. And, just give me a personal story below about how your confidence has been on that roller coaster maybe, and how you look forward to building a steady confidence for yourself. And until next week, remember to play hard, play smart, and play together. See you next week.